From the heartbeat of the Republic, this is the PAWA podcast. Be powerful. Bringing you independent voices, expert opinion, driving change.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 6, session 2 with Tasline Otieno from Kabwai Ward, Homa Bay County. Karibu sana Tasline.
Asante.
Yeah, so you talked about that you want to bring about transformational leadership in Kabwai Ward. So tell us about your manifesto.
My manifesto.
What do you want to do? What do you want to change? What do you want to achieve after 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I have maybe 4 or 5 points that I would want to change or think that I would want to change in Kabwai. The first one is health and sanitation. You find that because you have dispensaries, most health centers don't have medication, or they don't have equipment, or they don't have staff. There's just a problem when you go there. So I would want to know how to find these things and bring them to my people. I know that there's an allocation that should be taking care of this, but then why are they not coming to my people? So that is the first thing that I'm going to do about health and sanitation. And then maybe last month there was a writing on the dailies, and they were saying that Mjue, which is now my sub-county, is a open defecation area. I don't know if I said it right, but yes. So on sanitation, I'm going to make sure, because that's the work of the MCA, I'm going to make sure that everyone can have somewhere where they can go to, so that we avoid having such waterborne diseases and these health issues that come about when there's no good sanitation. And in 2020 or when was that? The government said that Homa Bay was number 2 in the number of young girls or underage girls that got pregnant during the COVID period. And it was a really sad moment for me, considering that I've done this my whole life. I know everything about SRHR, but then now my girls or my sisters are now stopping or dropping out of school because they've gotten pregnant. Some are getting married off. So this is one thing that has not been talked about in the county assembly, and I would really love to bring it in, because they assume that it's the work of the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health, and they also say that it's the work of the women rep. But really, we can also find a way as a county assembly to change it. Have these girls, let us know what the problem is. Why are they getting pregnant while in school? Is it the poverty? Is it peer pressure? So that we can address issues, like specifically when this girl has a problem with the poverty, then how can we help her? How can we help the parents so that she doesn't fall into hands of men or older men that want to take advantage of them? And through this, I hope that we will reduce the number of girls getting married off or getting teenage pregnancies in the county. It's because you realize, as much as some went back to school, through the return to school, there was a bill that passed that forced girls to go back to school even if they were pregnant. Not all went back. Some were married off, and so when we went looking for these girls, you find that the parents of the boy would lie that this is not the wife of the boy, but maybe a relative. So it would really be hard to even bring this girl home and to continue with the education. So this is one thing that I'm passionate about, and I hope that through my leadership and through legislation, I'll be able to change it.
Okay,
yes.
So this closely mirrors what you said about your role model.
Yes.
Freeing the girls from the shackles of
yes.
early marriages.
Yes, and also maybe, I don't know, making making it more punitive to older men that take advantage of our young girls, because we have older men that really, they know that it's wrong to take advantage of these girls, but they still go ahead because these girls are vulnerable. So what are we doing about it? Because mostly you'll find that a man who is somehow maybe akona tu pesa lies to these girls, and when he's found, the parents are given something small and they just let it go. So these are the issues that I will not be letting go, and I will make sure that I follow them to the latter. I've tried, but not as much, because also, you have to be somewhere to do something.
Yeah, you needed the power that comes with the
Yes.
office.
So when I have the power, man,
those men will be in trouble.
They will be in trouble.
Okay.
And also in the health sectors, we still have, you go there and you find that there's only a record keeper. So you wonder, so who's supposed to treat you? You want to give birth, who's going to assist you? Sometimes you go there, you find a CHV. But if you're having a complicated birth, then they can really not help. And when it's late and it has rained, so the road is bad, and you've been given a referral to Ndewa, how do you get to Ndewa? That is another problem that we must know how to solve. And the next one is roads. We don't have roads in Kobwai.
What do you have?
We just have things. The main one is okay, but now getting into
the villages, the shopping centers,
it's inaccessible, totally, completely. The other one is education. We find that ECDs, when we start with ECDs, we don't have desks. Children still sit
on the
floor. If not floor, unapata mtu amekalia mawe. You just carry your castone and unaenda unakalia in most public ECDs. And this is very bad, because it is also bringing, because the floors are also not done. Now we have the problem with the jiggers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, when they sweep the floor, there's the problems with breathing difficulties and chest infections amongst the kids.
Yes, and also you find that a child who's under 7 years, or even any other child, should not stay from morning to lunchtime before they eat. So we don't have, you find that maybe home hakukuwa na kitu, you go to school, there's no breakfast, until maybe you go back home and there's still no food. So you find that the concentration level of the children is also very low, and most are malnourished, and their performance is also in turn not very good. So maybe if I'm elected, I'll look for ways of introducing a meal, maybe lunch or breakfast for these children, and it will be mandatory for all to get, so that we have healthy children that are developing well. Their brains are also developing, because for the brain to develop, then you need food. And it will also give them, motivate parents and also motivate the children, because that when you go to school, you will find food. So this will also be a motivating factor to avoid truancy, because you also have children that umeenda shule leo, you will go to school next week, because the parent or the child, they feel like it's not necessary, you're just going to sing. Yeah, so yeah, that is it. And then for TVETs, we are going to look for better ways of
you have one in Kabwai, or is it the sub-county?
We have one in the sub-county, and then there's also a technical school, but it's private. So we are going to look for a better way, maybe bring in a public one that is accessible to everyone through subsidized school fee, and also sponsor some or give some scholarships to go study outside, where we cannot have, or we don't have courses, not outside the country, but outside the county. You go to Kisii, you're taught how to do welding, you go to, so that you also have the exposure, you just so that your life does not just revolve around Kobwai. That is for TVET. And also now for bursary, we are the bursary is a national government docket, but we are mandated to now know how it's distributed within our wards. And you'd find that some people drive to go pick their checks.
They drive?
Yeah, a person who is driving a vehicle should not be getting a bursary, because a bursary is for orphans and vulnerable children. These are people who cannot afford going to school. They drive because they are connected, so they just make a call and they get this. And those who really applied because they needed it are not getting it. You'd find that the list is there. They've given their names. They've done
assessment.
the
and everything.
assessment.
Mhm.
But when now the bursaries are coming, you find that the poorest of the poorest are not getting these bursaries. But now those who are closer to the government, those who know someone somewhere, are doing. So I'll make sure that I have structures to make sure that only or first we give the offices, and then if some is left or we have some money left, then those who drive can get it. So it's going to be on a need-based kind of structure, yes.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot.
The next one is water. As I had earlier said, in Kobwai, we are still using water from the rivers. And as a place that has been declared an open defecation place, we shouldn't be drinking water from rivers because it has,
for health reasons.
yes, it has caused a lot of issues. It has caused us a lot of problems. You go to the referral hospital in Dewa and you'll find so many children and even parents that are there because of typhoid. You know, these diseases are diseases that are not even supposed to exist in 2022. Yet they are there because of bad leadership. We have allocations for drilling boreholes, but we don't have boreholes. We have very few, so you have to really go far to get these boreholes. And most of these boreholes have been drilled by NGOs. So if I get to this seat, I'll make sure that the allocation for drilling boreholes has done that exactly, and I'll also look for more partners because we also know that the ward fund is not that much. So I'll look for partners, be it NGOs, be it private companies, through the, what is it called? This
Public-private.
it has a name.
CSR.
Through CSR. So they'll come in and help us because we have a very big, what is it? Sugar company.
Sugar milling.
Yeah,
company.
they process sugar. They can come in and drill for us even 5 boreholes. Si hapo watakuwa wamesaidia. So this is through negotiations, through talks, then they can also come and help us. And yes, I think that is it for me.
And I see you're a young person. And what about the youth?
The youth have been inculcated in all this. Because when I said SRHR, it touches on youth. When I said things to do with education, it touches on the youth. When I talked about TVETs, it touches on the youth. And I'm also going to look for investors to come and invest in Kobwai so that you don't have to travel outside Kobwai to look for jobs. So that we have employment for the youth inside. Same for the women empowerment. We have funds already that fund women, but are they getting it? No. So how will they get it? Is it because they don't have the information that these funds are there? If it's information then we will provide information. If it's not information, then we will know where the problem is and solve it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of young people, let me call elites, have been accused of providing solutions without really necessarily getting to know the root causes or the problems that they seek to provide solutions for. So in your case, you've talked brilliantly about your solutions to water, to sanitation, education, health, roads. So how did you arrive at that these are the priority areas that you want to focus on?
I was doing a lot of focus group discussions to just know about different areas. And I did this in all villages. And so I know each village with its needs. Okay. And so these are the problems that stood out. And now solving them, then we'll have to look at now specific ways of solving. If maybe we have a dispensary here, maybe their problem is the human resource. They don't have staff. Then they will look for people to be there to treat them. If we move to another place, they say that they have the nurses, but they don't have the medication. Then we'll give them the medication. So we'll be solving each issue in a special, yes.
As per need. Okay. It's encouraging to know that you have focus group discussions, bringing the people on board. That's really, really, really important. So now, so these are the those are the areas that we will hold you accountable. Okay, we'll get back to that in a short while. I want to switch gears a little bit and hear from you about how the journey has been. I know for a young person, this is the first time you're vying?
Yes.
Okay.
So I vied in campus. I don't know if that is real politics.
That doesn't count here.
It was just a stuff.
It's good. It gives you some idea of what to expect.
Yes.
But I believe the constituents are very different. The young people in campus, their needs are a bit different from your rural population. But anyway, it's good. It's good that you started honing your leadership ambition way back. So now, what are some of the challenges that you've had to face as an aspirant and also as a woman who is seeking for political office in a rural constituency where I think patriarchy is dominant? I don't know to what extent, but I think patriarchy is an issue in those areas.
The challenges I've had with citizens in Luo land, there's this thing that has just come up. I don't know where it has come from, but it's called Yuko Jamna. You see, you can be talking to people and telling them good things. Yeah, they also, they're listening, they're appreciating, but then what after? Are they going to make a queue?
Oh, that's what they mean by
Yuko Jamna.
Yuko Jamna.
Yes, are you going to give them something after this? And if you don't, then you're going to be in trouble. So it is one of the biggest problems because I'm a young person. I haven't amassed that much wealth. I'm only using money from friends and family, and it's not much. So that has been one of the biggest challenges from citizens. And also when they see you going around with bodas, they know that sasa si wewe ni mheshimiwa unaendaje na boda, but we cannot access it with these other vehicles unless there are now those four-wheel vehicles that are also very expensive to hire.
Yeah.
So we just decide, let's do bodas kama mbaya. And challenges that I've had from citizens, maybe there's this thing called migogo. I'm a migogo.
Migogo.
Yes, Migogo.
That is what.
Migogo means that I was born in Kobwai, and therefore means that I should be getting married off somewhere else. So that means that I feel like it's a way of excluding you. I don't know.
Excluding women from leadership positions.
Yes, they say that you cannot lead your parents, you cannot lead your elders. You'll get married off to another place and then take our monies there. Those are the things they're saying. And then I'm also now I'm unmarried. Sasa wewe hauko serious because unmarried.
Shouldn't that be now make it easier for you because now you're not going to somewhere else?
I know, right? But now you have to explain it because now I decided to use this migogo to my advantage.
Nice.
Yeah, I when I'm introducing myself, I have to start with I am a migogo, and then we also have to remind them that migogo wiyokwil gidalagi. That means that a woman who marries off to another place does not forget about her home. So, and they agree about it because they've known how their daughters help them. And this is one of the way that has now made my campaigns easier. If I remind them that, then I'm good. If a politician comes and reminds them that Amigogo is going to take their money, then so I have to keep on reminding them all, like every time. And now the age factor, I'm a youth. So that's another problem. But you're going to use our money to go and go and party. Those are things now that you have to look for ways of solving, because now I've also done some small SRHR education in my village, and then I tell them I was even doing this even before I started campaigning, and I was even younger, but I was sober enough to come and teach my sisters to do this and this and this. So that is now how they are able to see my importance and a personal level.
No, let me go back to the citizens and just put things in perspective, because I think it is important for citizens to understand that leadership is about the mind and the heart.
Yes.
What the vision, when you talk about the mind, the vision that the leader has, and the heart values, basically. But let me ask you, in terms of as a young person, how has been financing your campaign? Has it? What's your experience?
It has been extremely difficult because you find that even my friends right now, they're just around my age. They don't have. They're mostly are salaried. Salaried people have a way of spending their money, so they don't have that much left to give you. So it has been really difficult. Even for family members, my dad has used his money to campaign for me, and it's not as good as it sounds. But I've had my father has given me some. My family members, my sisters, I thank them for that. My friends, they've really been there for me. That is basically how. And also me, I'm the biggest financier of my campaigns. Yes.
So you have to put up your personal funds to run your campaign.
Yes.
Which is very brave of you, I must say.
Thank you.
So with regards to the challenges of the personal at the family level, I meant like politics is not for the faint-hearted. And some people, especially those who are close to you, may feel it may not be the right thing to do, or it's not the right time, they might be fearful about you throwing yourself into the field, and all these things. How has it been with your family and friends, if I may add?
My parents really have faith in me, but it has been draining because you find that you'll have people in your home from maybe 6 a.m. People want money, and it's not little money. This person needs school fees. The next one is going for surgery.
So different issues.
Yes. So yes, it's really draining. And now, if you have a visitor at home, you cannot let them go back without eating.
So you have to provide also meals for them as well.
Yes, and if they come from far, even if you don't have that money for surgery or what, you have to give them fare back home. So that has been really challenging, and I feel like nimepatia wazazi wangu shida kubwa sana, and but generally my parents really believe in me. Even when I've given them those troubles, they still feel like I should go on, but it's also emotionally draining because sometimes you're told those funny words, and your parent anasikia, you don't know how they feel about it when you're told. How women are seen when they are in the political sphere. When maybe propagandas come about you've done what with who, but as much as they say that they're okay with it, I know that it's draining them too, and that it's in turn draining me. And also safety, I have to be home by 7 p.m. Yes, because if I'm not, then I'm going to get 20 missed calls from my parents, and you also get threats. So you really have to be home early. Yes, and close the door, and you also worry about their safety, because if you're late, then you cannot be there to take care of them. When you feel like ukiwa hapo unaweza chapa mtu ngumi, but so safety has also been an issue because I think I've been attacked once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was attacked, and then vandalism. They don't even understand that these posters mtu ameshasolia wanakuja, and then they just
remove it.
Yeah, they remove. So those are the. And then mentally also, as much as it's on my parents' side, it's mentally draining, but you just have to keep on keeping on and pray about it, Yeah.
But you look like a strong woman, so all power to you, Tasline.
Thank you.
So now, as we almost come to the tail end of our discussion, how will the people of Kabwai hold you accountable? Assuming, and I hope that this is true, that on 9th August, as our people, especially from that side, say, it is you that IEBC will yes, will announce. Yes. So assuming you're the one who gets the opportunity to represent the good people of Kabwai in Homa Bay County Assembly, how will the people of Kabwai hold you accountable? What structures will you put in place to ensure that you are accountable? Because like you said, you want your leadership philosophy is transformational leadership.
Yes. When I was doing the FDGs, I was also doing a lot of civic education. I'm telling them, if this doesn't happen, then you can go through this. If this, so, and then I'm going to open up public participation, something that does not really happen in my area. You find that you're called to go and meet somewhere, you sign something that you don't know, and in the next hearing, you hear that some bill was passed without public participation. So this is how they're going to mostly hold me accountable. And I'm very accessible. I'm not going to run away from them. And through what I've said I'll do, they have the right to call me to a meeting and ask me, you said you do this. Why hasn't this happened? And if we say that we are going to do number 2 and they feel like number 3 should be given priority, they have the right to tell me, stop this and this and this, and then we can do it. But if it makes sense only. Yeah.
Okay. So I want to give you 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes at most, to now talk to the good people of Kabwai and tell them why they should elect you as their next MCA.
Okay, before I do that, can I just talk to the youth? Yes, we found that mostly youths are used to attack people. They're used when maybe people want to have violence in their area, and mostly it's them that remain with the problems, because when you're found hacking people, stabbing people, it's you that will go to prison.
The law will deal with you.
Yes, personally.
Personally.
Yes, so I'm just calling on the youths from Kabwai and Kenya at large not to be involved in such unneedful behaviors, and to remain peaceful. And so let's have a peaceful election or a campaign period. And when talking to people of Kabwai, I would just want them to remember what problems we've had for the last 10 years. We've elected people that have done us nothing. We still have the same problems we had before there was devolution. We still have the same challenges we had before we had an MCA in our area. And so what's the work of the MCA if we still have mothers who are dying because roads are bad? What's the work of the MCAs when we still have women fetching water in rivers that are contaminated? With me and my leadership, we are going to change all this, and they should have faith in me and let them remember that Migogo Wiokwil Gidalage. If they remember this and they pray on the 9th of August, they pray before going to vote, then they will vote for me.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of episode 6 of our Mjue Kiongozi Wako series, where we were hosting Tasline Otieno from Kabwai Ward.
Kabwai.
Yes. So thank you so much, Tasline, for honoring this invitation.
Thank you so much.
And we hope that through this interaction that we've had, the people of Kabwai have heard what you have to offer. And come 9th August, God willing, the decision is theirs to make.
Amen.
We are not supporting anyone. We just offer a platform for people to share the manifesto so that the voters can vote from an informed point of view.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us, and look out for episode 7 of the Mjue Kiongozi Wako series. Have a good evening.
Have a good evening.
From the heartbeat of the Republic, this is the PAWA podcast. Be powerful.